Don't be fooled, my friend. God is always on the move. One of the places that we've been to twice, we spent about 9 or 10 days both times, is Pyongyang, North Korea. We were allowed and invited to come be a part of a festival. The only reason we were allowed to come is because there's one NGO left, like a Red Cross or group like that, called Global Resource Services. And this was about 14 years ago. And things have gotten a little rougher since then. But then their goal was to try to build relationships somehow, try to connect by helping. So what they would do is they would send doctors over to work in their hospitals and help with their hospitals. They'd send agriculturalist people, farmers that are gooder at farming, right? They'd send them over there to help them with their agriculture. And one year, the leader of this ministry, a song that was really important to him in his faith, because he was a believer all this time, was a song called Voice of Truth that we sang earlier tonight. And it was an important song in his faith. Like we all have those songs that just sort of meet us in a moment, right? I've got them too. And they aren't mine. It's a bummer. But I always wondered and was always kind of confused about the whole Grammy Award thing and American Music Award thing, because anytime we ever went to that, we felt like we were not supposed to be there. You know, walking down the red carpet, I'm like, we are in Mars. We are not cool. We don't need to be here. And we would go, and we won a Grammy Award and several of these American Music Awards, and I never really understood, like, what do we do? It's okay, you don't have to do that. I don't even know where they are. I could not take you to it. When cancer happened to me, I wasn't going looking for my Grammy Award, like Thor. No. Just a moment. But here's how God, I don't know why I just did that. That was crazy. My nerve came out, sorry. But it was the Grammy Award that got us in. Because the leader of this organization went to his person in his contact and said, what if we could get a Grammy Award-winning band to come to your celebration? Because they had a celebration every year for their leader's birthday. And performers from all over the world would come, just not from here, right? And he couldn't even believe he was saying it when he said it. And that one person that he worked with in that organization over time had been lifted higher and higher and higher into the government there. And it came a point when he said, here's the band, they're called Casting Crowns, they've won this and this and this, and we should have them. And their committee and stuff listened to our songs, and I thought as soon as they heard our songs, there's no way this happened. Our songs aren't exactly vague. He's singing to God, he's singing to a girl, I'm not sure. No, that doesn't happen, right? It's just straight talk. And I thought, there's no way. And that committee said, no, they're too religious, I'm not gonna have it. But this person had been elevated to the point where he said, if Rob says they're okay, they're okay. Next thing you know, we're on a plane to North Korea. And we performed 4 or 5 times. And then we were invited back several years later and did it again. And I cannot even draw a picture for you. North Korea, to most of us, is one face. It's the only face we've ever seen, right? Not to us anymore. North Korea now is a lot of little faces, a lot of college-age faces, getting beat at ping pong by a new friend and getting to see things. When we landed in that country, it felt like a darkness was actually on you. And I'm not one of those people, but you could almost feel it. Everything was just gray. The buildings were gray, the sky was gray, everything was gray. You didn't see businesses anywhere, just buildings, high-rise buildings where people lived. And they looked like they were falling over. And you would see the billboards that they did have were like those World War II propaganda, like people facing the sun with a slogan. There's speakers mounted on all of the light poles in the streets where announcements would occasionally come out and tell everybody, this is where you will be and this is what you will do. There's one channel on the radio, there's one channel on the TV, and all they know is what they've heard. Their world history is not the same as ours. There's one history book, and I wish I could just take a few minutes and talk about it. Nothing, the wars the things that we've seen, none of it ever happened. Their leader rescued them, right? So we walk into this place where all they know is what they've been told. And they're pointing to 20-story buildings that look like they will fall on us and looking at me and saying, do you have this in America? It's the saddest thing I'd heard. He didn't know anything different than there. We went in and we sang our songs, and I prayed. Every night I prayed Acts chapter 2 on these songs. I said, Lord, you made people understand in their language once in the New Testament. I want just let it land somewhere with someone. And one of our guides comes up to me because we were supposed to do a traditional folk song, right? And I thought, Amazing Grace, that's a good traditional folk song. So that was our song. 3 nights in, one of our guides walks up and says, this song, Amazing Grace, what does this song mean? And I said, well, the man who wrote it was a bad man. He was the owner of a slave ship, and he'd done so many dark things his whole life. He didn't think God could forgive him. And this song is him telling his story of how Jesus saved him and forgave him. That's all I could say. I could answer questions. That's all I could say. Because I was told before I went in, any room that you walk into, big or small, you're being heard. So be very careful what you say. The second trip over, we take our kids. John Michael was 11 when he went. He's not now, he's older. Now check this out. So he didn't understand why at the time. But every night we would sit in our room. The hotel rooms, it's like a hotel room, then this closet, then a hotel room, and then a closet, like extra doors between all of the rooms. So we knew we were being heard. So every night, I shared the gospel with JM. Every night. By about third night, I'm like, you see, JM, John Michael's like, why are you doing this? Like, all I know is the gospel will share with somebody on the other end of that thing. Every night. Every night. This is a song of prayer. It was a song written from a South Korean, a prayer for peace between the countries. I'm going to share it with you.